Mogul and they know that. Logo on my flow mat. Courtside Chamberlain throwback match my Rolex. Everywhere I go flex. Valet park on some low shit. Whole lot of smoke in that Rory, that thing post. Burning rubber. Wearing cameras, they was undercovers. Under pressure, made statements turned on their brothers. Never judge you, but the streets will never love you. I wonder what it come to in your brain for you to run to. One's the haters, handcuff us and Masons. Call us dumb niggas cause our culture is contagious. Third generation.
Good. Yo, what's going on? This is Jay.
It's big.
This is Lit Logic. This is episode 4. And today we're going to be talking about the late great Nipsey Hussle. Today marks the day of, it's been a year since his death.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk about him and his impact he's had on the culture and, us personally. So let's get to it.
Yeah, man. Why don't you kick it off, man? What is some of your favorite Nipsey Hussle songs?
Some of my favorite?
Yeah.
I like Killers from the Mailbox Money mixtape. I like All Get Right from the Crenshaw mixtape, 4 a.m.
Crenshaw that was a good mixtape.
Summertime in the Cutlass. Victory Lap had a whole bunch.
Yeah, the Victory Lap, just the whole album alone, that was like one of my favorites.
Blue Laces 2. The song Victory Lap, Double Up, real shit, Grinding on My Life, Rap Niggas, like, there's just so many.
So many. I mean, yeah, you basically said a lot of the songs I like. I mean, there's 3, More and Less, that was a good song. 1-on-1, 100 a Show with featuring Rick Ross, that was a really good one. But yeah, it's like you said, like majority of his music. And, I don't want to be, we want to sound biased and be like, since, because a lot of people don't listen to his music.
All right.
But I know for us, we really appreciate his music, and his music also gave a great message in a lot of his songs. Like, he tries to spit, he's literally telling people, he put people on game with a lot of stuff. And I think a lot of people, need to really listen to him, because he really said, he didn't talk about just like the normal shit, popping pills and stuff like that. Granted, he had it in some of his songs, but there is a lesson in a lot of his lyrics, and there were great, words of wisdom in a lot of his lyrics. So if you ever get a chance to, listen to any of his music, definitely listen to his music, because he is giving out gems in his songs. You just gotta keep your ears open.
So when did you first start listening to Nipsey? Like, when did you become a fan?
I became a fan when I was young. So I was still in high school.
Right.
I was still in high school, and I heard of Nip, but I wasn't really like listening.
Mm-hmm.
I think once I got out of high school, that's when I started really listening to, Nipsey Hussle. One of his first songs that I heard, probably wasn't one of his first songs that came out, but it was one of the songs that I really liked, was Feeling Myself with him and Lloyd.
Right.
That was a good song. I actually really liked that song. And then I think on the same mixtape, or probably right after, he made a song called Hustle in the House. That was my shit. The Hustle in the House, I was like, yo, this dude is the truth.
See, with me, I remember this vividly because it was 2009, senior year. I heard him with the song with Drake.
Okay.
Called Killer. I didn't know.
That was a good song.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was at that point. I knew who Drake was at that point. And so I'm listening to the song because it's a Drake song, whatever. And I hear him on the second verse. I'm like, this guy's alright. I always banged that song, but I didn't really pay him, that much mind after that. And then I heard a song he did with French Montana and Wiz Khalifa called "I'm On It," because I was fucking with French heavy back then, like in high school.
I think everybody was
fucking with Max B. So I heard his verse on there. I'm just like, this nigga spitting. Like,
he really putting on.
Spitting. So after that, I started following him more.
Yeah.
I started listening to some other mixtapes as the years go by. Bullets Have No Names, Volume 3. That was one of my favorites. You know, and Crenshaw, Mailbox Money, other mixtapes in between. And then when he finally dropped the album, I was excited because I'm like,
already hooked onto.
This is like his first album or whatever. So I was, and his album kind of blew like the expectations like I had for it. Okay. Like when I heard it, I'm just like, damn, this nigga got some like hits on here. Yeah. And I was just, but I just was blown away by the album. So, but as I started getting more into it, like with the mixtapes and stuff, I started like having like a better following of him. So I started seeing like the type of stuff he was doing besides the music. Yeah. And, the hustler mentality and how he was trying to open up businesses and stuff like that.
And that's one of the keys. And that's one of the keys I definitely like want to get into. Like, on a personal note, since you're entering this, to entrepreneurship, right? With some stuff, for a business note, looking at him being able to, like, and for a lot of people that don't know out there, Nip, he bought the shopping mall in his neighborhood. Right. It started off with a store or two, and then it grew to the whole shopping mall. And
he ended up buying the whole thing.
And one of the things, before I'm gonna get back into the question I'm gonna ask you, one of the things that made him that much special, because he didn't just buy the shopping mall and just put any employees in there. He put employees from his neighborhood. Right. So he's putting money back into his neighborhood pockets. A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I respect what he was doing.
And then he used his money. He used his money. And like you said, one of the things, like you said, your entrepreneurship and what you're doing, you using your money and you're putting your money in for the profit. But I want you to go, in case, people didn't know, Nip, wasn't a rapper. He was into the same stuff, you're doing now. Plus, opening the shopping mall, putting stores in. Stores, not just regular stores that fit his community. Right. That people are going to go to and fit his community, and then put money in his people's pockets by giving them jobs, giving them an opportunity, showing them like there's a way. And there's a video that's out. There's this, I don't know, the dude's I don't think the dude is homeless. I don't want to call him homeless or anything, but he works at, probably, regular guy works, at, when Nip was alive, he worked at his shop, sweeping outside, sweeping the shop.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, working there for years. Nip
I forget what he called him.
I forgot. Yeah, but he pulled him over here and said, "Come take a ride with me." Got his haircut, got him some fresh gear, took him out to dinner. That's a real one right there.
Yeah, man. And just to reiterate what you were saying before, like, when he was, I didn't know he was doing the whole currency trading thing until after he had passed. Mm-hmm. Like that video had surfaced like after the fact. So I was just like, damn, he was already on the type of stuff that I was already, because I had just got introduced to it like probably like that January of that year. So just to see that he was on that same type of wave that I was trying to be on, that I'm on now, and he was trying to do that same thing, was gave me more respect for him, because for his business mind, I had the opportunity to go out to LA, and he was at the store, but unfortunately I was out there for the game, and he was out there at the store while I was at the game. Oh, wow. So I didn't get a really chance to actually go out there and go to the store, because I was out in LA. It was just like, I could have rolled out there real quick, but I was at the Laker game at the time, so I wasn't able to go out there and try to go meet him or whatever. But now even passing, I'll never get that chance. But the type of message that he left, is going to be carried on for generations to come, because of just the mindset he had. Like, not just the business mindset, but he was also encouraging the people to, do their best, be the best person they can be.
Yes. And one of the things he did encourage, like you came into, is be your own boss. Right. One of the things he really preached is be your own boss, be your own person. He says nobody wants to work and be a slave for the rest of their life. When you have your own, you could call your own shots. And then one of the things he did preach, other than that, was once you get on, you put your homies on, you know, put your peoples on, but don't put your peoples on to the point where you just giving them money, you know, put them to work so they can make their own money.
Right.
You know, and that was one thing he preached the most. And for me, I was a fan of him for the music, but learning that, like you said, like, I didn't know, that made me even a bigger fan because he's actually giving back, like I said, to his community, his boys. He's putting his boys to work, putting them in position.
He's putting everybody in position to elevate themselves.
Yeah, and another person that does that, you know, I don't want to get off topic, you know, is LeBron James.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see his friends, they work for him. And it's not like a, you know, granted, you know, he's their boss, but they're bosses in their own aspect because of the, you know, it's a team. If they're not moving and doing their part, the team falls. And that's one of the things, you know, Nipsey did preach. You know, if your team is not strong, you know, your foundation is going to fall. And I was one of the things, that's one of like a lot of things I respect him as, you know, and making his own money, making his own rules, being his own boss, and then giving back. Those are big things. And like you said, it was more like when people say it's bigger than rap, you know, so you got them lyrics, you know, the people that put in their lyrics is bigger than rap. To him, it really was bigger than rap.
It was bigger than rap.
It was.
He did what rappers should inspire to do. Is use the money that you're making from rapping and, you know, venture off into other business aspects because, you know, everyone's not going to be a rapper. You're not going to be a rapper forever.
No, everybody's lyrics are not going to be.
And that's why a lot of people, you know, these rappers, you sit there, you got one-hit wonders, or you got people that, you know.
You got niggas that still trying.
Yeah, that people that fell off and, you know, they was at the, you know, top of the game at one point and then just fell off. And then, you know, you got people they trying to scramble up to try to get some type of money running the love of hip hop or whatever, just to try.
Oh man, I knew it was gonna. I knew it was gonna happen. Like, Ratchet TV. Here this is the guy.
No disrespect to anybody, but
it's all disrespect.
Maybe a little bit, but that's the thing. If you were to set yourself up, you would have to rely on, you know, that type of TV or whatever the case may be. Like, use that type of money to elevate yourself to the next level, like how Jay-Z did, like how Diddy did, like, you know, Master P and them, they took that and elevated themselves into a whole nother level.
I heard there was a story, Jay-Z and Nip, you know, they were together, you know, he was, you know, obviously he was still alive, and I think it was, he was making the Crenshaw album.
Oh yeah, when he made the mixtape and he was selling it for
$100.
I don't think that one was.
No, he asked Jay-Z. No, Jay-Z asked him how much you put this out for. He said 100.
I don't know if he bought the one for 100. I know he was selling one for 100, and then he sold one for 1,000. I think Jay-Z bought the ones that was 1,000. I think he bought 100 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But that just goes to show you, man, confident in his work.
Absolutely.
You know, because I mean, this goes in real life. I mean, you know, Nick probably said this, but everybody, you know, there's a lot of people that say this, man. If you don't bet on yourself, who else gonna bet on? Yeah, you gotta bet big on yourself. You know, and for him it worked. He betted on himself. You know, if y'all ever, you know, familiar with the documentaries of him, he actually said, you know, he used to sling the CDs outside his car. And he would go to executive meetings, and they would try to tell him, "Oh, this is it," and he wasn't hearing it because he knew what he wanted on his albums, how he wanted to present himself and market himself. Yeah, you know, and
basically did it like independent. So that's another thing that I admired about him. He just went out and did it like he didn't do the traditional route. If, you know, one door closed, he just opened up another door. Yeah.
Well, he made his own door.
Yeah,
he basically made his own door, and that's the thing you gotta respect about the guy. You know, and and you know, we don't know him personally, but you know, for me and Jay, I mean, shit. If it was for him, we wouldn't be here because that's motivation enough. We want to do something, you know, that we could say is ours. Yeah. You know, and look at us now.
And that's one of the real reasons why, you know, he was a big impact on my life, because not just because of the music, because I like the music, but just his business mindset and, you know, just his positive, you know, vibe and, you know, mentality. You know, that was one of the, you know, guys, like, as far as rappers,
yeah,
that was like that I really like respected. So when you know, when I heard about his passing, like how he passed, like it hurt, like you know, like I knew him personally because what he's done for me, just like on the you know a mindset level. So you know, I got the TMZ and the flags tatted on my neck out of respect for him because of what he's done for me in my life. Without even meeting him or ever even like
you can have a person can influence you.
Absolutely.
And you don't even meet the person. You know, there's a bunch of people, influence, me, he was one of them. You know. Here we go. I know. Hey, look, when you dealing with this show, you gonna get some real shit. That's real. The lights cut off. That's real. The lights cut off.
It ain't the first time.
Yes, it ain't gonna be the last.
I don't know why it keeps doing that.
Because that light don't fuck with us, Jay.
I don't know if it's getting too hot or what. I don't know. I'm gonna try to.
It's hot too.
Because it didn't do that last time. We was recording for like an hour and the light stayed on the whole time.
Because it don't like the light cut off when it's just us two. It don't like us. It like when we have guests.
No, it didn't do the last
That's a
time.
shout out. You see the lights when we have guests? Yeah, stop playing.
Our last episode is stayed on the whole time.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But you know, back to the topic. So, where were you at when you heard the news about his passing? What were you doing? Like,
I was home.
Okay.
I was home. I think I called off of work. So I called off of work to do something. It was home, and I seen it on Facebook. Somebody was like, "Yo, I can't believe this happened." I'm just like, and I'm just thinking it's just normal Facebook shit.
Yeah.
And then I started, then they was like, somebody said R.I.P. Hussle, and I'm like, Hussle? I don't know what's up, man. Hustle Man off of Martin? Like, I was like, what you mean Hustle? I was just jamming to this nigga music. It's crazy the day before,
right.
So yeah, I was at home. Then I went on Instagram, and I seen it like the pictures and all that. And it said Nipsey Hussle has been shot and is in critical condition, and I'm just like, what? And I'm like, at his own shopping, like that's the part that really blew my shit. You got all these people around you. It's like, and then the part that really messed up is that all those people around you, ain't nobody got a gun, ain't nobody shot back, nobody sat there like it just.
Yeah, I feel like,
but
it's like a catch-22 because you in your own neighborhood. You got so much love and respect, you wouldn't even think that type of stuff.
And that's the part that even fucks with me today because it's just like you in your own neighborhood, not even just the neighborhood, the fucking shopping mall that you bought and gave the neighborhood some life back, and somebody would sit there and do some shit like that in your own hood.
Well, they say the place that you're most comfortable is also a place where you're most vulnerable. So yeah. I think he should have been a little bit more cautious, even though I guess he felt like that was his safe haven. Yeah. So nothing like that would ever go down to where
it's sad, man.
It just shows that just taking some type of precautions, regardless of where you at, can save your life.
Yeah, that shit is sad.
Because had somebody been there with a weapon or he had security, I think he would still be here.
He would still be here.
Yeah, so it
ain't nobody let no. If he had security or even his nigga, even if his niggas that was around him, if they was just shielding off or stop the escalation before it happened.
Well, I think he already had it in his mind that was gonna go down. So. And they have story goes they had a conversation about him being like a snitch or whatever the case may be. I don't know how true that is, but that's what people were saying.
That's the story I heard too.
Yeah, so snitch. That already is going to raise some eyebrows. So if you having that type of conversation, then me personally, I've been like, all right, let me try to get up out of here because you just accuse a guy of being a snitch or whatever. As far as how the streets go or whatever, that's like a high level kind of a disrespect.
Yeah.
Case may be. So, you gotta watch how people moving. And I just think there was just a lapse on his part, as
Yeah.
far as like, you know, being a little bit more aware of, you know, what's going on in his surroundings. But I mean, you can't do nothing about it now, but you know, it just goes to show, like, you know, even don't matter how much money you have, don't matter what you've done for people, this, that, and third, you can always be in a spot where you're vulnerable at, and you can be touched at. So if you're that type of person, you're making that type of money, you should always take some type of precautions to, like, you know, make sure that yourself and your family are protected.
Yeah. Real talk.
Yeah, as far as me, I was at home too. I was chilling in my room. I think I was watching something on my phone, the episode ended. So, you know, hop on Facebook. I'm just scrolling down and I see, you know, rapper Nipsey Hussle has been shot outside of his clothing store. I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. And when I heard, like I said, when you hear shot, you be like, all right, you got, you know, just
yeah, it wasn't no real details.
Yeah, you just think.
It didn't say where he got hit at. It didn't say
in the leg or the arm.
How many times he got hit. He just said he got shot, and it was like a ominous aura after I read the post or whatever the case may be. Because you know, like, all right, it's not giving that much details, but it don't feel like it's gonna be a good outcome.
No,
like
I didn't feel good about it at all.
There was a video of him laying down. Somebody had recorded. I guess he was laying on the ground, whatever. It looked like he was bleeding from his head. I'm just like, yeah, it might be over. I didn't know the whole details of it, but I'm like, damn, he got hit in the head, it's over. So,
I don't know. Some rappers.
Yeah, some people have survived, but your chances is real slim.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't know. I was just going off of what I seen on the video. He was just bleeding from his head, so I was like, that ain't like a good look. Regardless of the fact, like, so. And as time went on, you know, you started getting reports that, you know, he had succumbed to his injuries, and you know that one really hurt. Like,
yeah.
You know, just who he was as a person to me, like, you know, that one was like a low blow for like so many other reasons.
Yeah, it was crazy for me because, like I said, I didn't think you would never think somebody would shoot you in your own shit.
Yeah, you would never think that somebody like Nip would be put in that situation.
No, you never thought.
Like, especially like, you know, like I said, at his store, like that's the least, you know, I would think that'd be some shit that would happen like out of town.
At a club
or something like, or some bullshit like that, but you know, you at home and you at, you know, your place of business for some shit like that to happen.
What made it worse for me is when I was looking at the game is a rapper, for y'all don't know. Him and Nip are really good friends. They made a couple songs together. They're really good friends, and his video alone, I'm not gonna say it wasn't, his video alone was a emotional bent. Like, I felt for the guy because you losing your close friend, and he really said something. He said, damn, y'all, I think what he quoted, he said, damn, y'all really gonna kill the homie in his own hood where he built? And he was like, y'all crazy. Like, it really, like, the way he said it, like,
it happens though. Like, a lot of
hit
dudes,
the home.
A lot of dudes have died in their own neighborhoods over some just caught lacking shit.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but you know, unfortunately, that's, you know, the time we're living in.
But this is a dude that died in his neighborhood that he helped give back to. Now, granted, like you said, he, you know, he's a gang member, right. You know, and that, you know, and that me, like, I'm one of those people, I don't judge a person by their past. You know, granted.
I mean, regardless of the fact whether, you know.
Well, no, I'm just saying, by him being a gang member, right. You know, people look at that and be like, oh, he did a lot of bad, you know, doing that. But it's just like, you know.
Unless he was there, you don't really know what he did.
Yeah.
Like, I've known people, like, in gangs or have been in gangs, and they just was in gangs. Yeah. Like, they haven't, to my knowledge.
And a lot of people, and this is crazy, a lot of people had to accept them, like, you know, granted, you know, they join a gang, and they be like, okay, you automatically killing people and stuff. It's like, no, a lot of people, they join gangs because that's what they see outside when they walk outside. That's their neighborhood. And not even that. That's who raised a lot of them because their parents are not there. And you got that big homie in the gang showing you love. Right. You know, you ain't got a pair. You ain't got your sneakers is fucking talking to you. Guess what you know what I'm saying? Guess what big homie gonna do? He gonna go take you, go get you some new kicks. He gonna make sure you good. You know, and as a kid, you see that, you go like, man, I want to be just like him.
Yep.
You know, and like I said, that's, you know, like I said, everybody, like I said, has a misconception of gangs. You know, like I said, sometimes gangs are bad. Sometimes there are actually some good shit that comes out of them. And you know, in Nip's story, like I said, you don't know what he did when he was younger. You know, all he was adamant in telling y'all is he sold drugs. You know, he made music, right. And he said it. He said he sold drugs so he can have the money to go buy the equipment so he can make the music. Right. That's what he used his drug money for. It was a stepping stone to get to where he was trying to get to. So, you know, you can't really knock nobody. You're going to really knock somebody. And that's not saying. And that's all you just doing. And that's not saying that, you know, like I say, he didn't have no altercations with people and, you know, shootouts or whatever. He probably did have those, but the main story. I know he smacked the shit out of Neff. Oh, the security guard? Yeah, the PT word. But this is the crazy part. This is the crazy part. That Neff was bigger than him. And the crazy part, when he smacked them, they grabbed Nip. He even grabbed the security guard. Nah.
Yeah, because when you like a celebrity status and you get into altercations like that and you throw the first punch, motherfuckers is like trying to like do that on purpose just to get a lawsuit out of you.
Yeah, but he get a lawsuit. He just got the shit smacked out of him.
Yeah, you know, he was a little bit of a hothead because there's a couple videos of him, you know, getting that way towards people. There was a video of he took some phone. Out their car.
But see, you know what? I can understand. Well, not to that extent, but I can understand. Sometimes, like, yo, man, I would just want to get out the car and not have a camera in my face. Like, ask me before you start.
I think that was the issue.
Yeah, like, ask me.
They was following him.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was being a little too extra. And he said that, you know, from ground from, like, you know, you got somebody following you, don't know who that is.
Yeah.
It throws up red flags. So you're automatically going to be defensive.
You're automatically going to, you may not make it out. You may not make it out if you're following somebody like that.
Yeah, like, some people I think just don't know how to, like, you know, do the whole, like, respect thing. They just
because they look at us.
They feel like, yeah, it's just a celebrity.
Like, yo, you getting paid. You getting paid to do this, so do something on the camera. It's like, man, I'm a grown ass man, dog. I'm putting that damn camera in my face.
They don't respect boundaries.
Yeah.
They just think that just because they're celebrities, like they're not human.
Yeah.
Like they like some type of like, are you supposed to, you know, sign autographs and take pictures with people, but sometimes they don't feel like doing that shit.
Yo, you don't. And you know, you can't get mad at them.
You can't get mad at that because
but I'm saying the most memorable one is when he was really about to catch a fade at the Laker game with all the Rocket. He wanted all the smoke with all the Rocket players. That nigga James Harden was about to catch a two-piece.
Nah, he cool with James Harden.
Don't mean shit, nigga. He from LA. Don't mean shit, bro. When it's wartime, that don't mean shit.
I don't think
that nigga pulled his pants up.
I don't think that's what was going on. I just
think Brandon Ingram started popping off. My man said, "What's up?" Real talk.
I just think he was just standing up and he was just, you know, in case something would have came his way, he'd be able to like get out of the way. I don't think because he's cool with James Harden.
I'm just saying, he's cool.
So that's where all that whole thing even started with. Like him and like James Harden is real tight because you know James Harden from California too.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
You know, they real tight, so I don't think he was doing that.
No, he wasn't gonna pop on James Harden, but I'm just saying.
I don't think he was gonna fight. I just think
I think he was gonna.
That's just like when you see some shit popping off.
But but Brandon Ingram, I think him and Brandon Ingram pretty cool. That's you know, and you know, like you say, he's a Lakers fan, so that's like you seeing your homie get popped on, and you standing like you know, you see your homie about to get some shit, you stand up like. Nigga, when you stand up, you got one thing on your mind standing up. You not watching shit.
I don't think he was going to do that, man. Because, you know, if you do some shit like that, then you can't come back to the games. They ban you for life. So, he was a Laker fan, so I don't think he was.
Yeah, you always watch it. They banned Lil Wayne for less. They banned Lil Wayne for less. What the fuck did he even do?
Watching this shit on TV and watching it like live as a whole, especially courtside. that's a whole different type of experience. And I've had the pleasure of doing that a couple times in my life. It's a whole different experience when you're sitting on the floor as opposed to sitting back there or even in the nosebleeds. Like, you really feel like you're part of the game. So, me personally, I don't know about him. Y'all niggas fight, y'all gonna fight. Like, I'm like, I ain't gonna fuck this shit up I got going on, because y'all niggas can't kill off. Like, you feel me? But I get what you're saying. So, you know, it just sucks that, you know, he's not here anymore.
It does suck, because, you know, like, that's like, he was on my list of people, like, if I ever met, I just want to pick his brain.
All right.
I just want to pick his brain. Just want to, like, you know, get some wisdom. You know, like you said, my man gives out free gems. Like, he really dropping wisdom if you really listen to his lyrics. And not even that, listen to his interviews. Like, he's very conscious in his interviews. You know, and you want to know the things, he dropped out of school.
Yeah.
He dropped out of school, and Lauren London had said this on one of her interviews. Like, Nip loves to read. He's self-taught. He taught himself. Yeah, he's self-taught.
He read a lot of books. He also was on like a spiritual type of stuff, because that's his mom was on that type of stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, so he would walk around the crib burning sage and shit.
Yeah, with the crystals and all that.
Yeah, all that shit like that. So, you know, he's a very smart guy.
Yeah, very, very intelligent.
So it just don't feel like. It took a while for me to like grasp the concept, like, this nigga's really doing. Like,
it didn't really dawn to me until I seen the funeral.
Even then, it was just like, I don't still can't really believe it.
Yeah, in a way, you waiting for Nip to, you know, drop some shit.
You know, that's kind of like how it is with like celebrity deaths. I think it's like you can't really. They're like at such a like status or whatever that you just think that they can't. You know, you forget that they're human sometimes.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what, dear? Like, my mom always told me this. Not just my mom, but like my dad, my grandparents. They always tell me, like, music does something to the body, the
music
mind,
soothes
and the soul.
The soul.
And when you find like an artist that makes music that, you know, relates to you, or when you listen to their song or her song, it just does something to you. It puts you in a great space, or whatever space it puts you in, or even the things they do, you be like, yo, I really fuck with this person, because the shit that they doing when they pass, that shit hurts, because it's like you lost a friend, you lost somebody that really, you know.
I think that's what people don't tend to realize, because for some strange reason, people feel like just because you never met a person or you don't know them personally, that you can't feel that like effects of their passing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you didn't know them personally, but you don't know how that person
affected that person,
motivated that person, how the person's music or whatever they did got somebody through the day. We don't know what people are going through and what type of music and artists have helped people get through tough times in their life, or whatever the case may be, or what music has motivated them to change their life and change their aspect of how they think about things. So just because you don't know somebody personally doesn't mean that you can't be affected by a person's death that you haven't met. Like, there's 3 celebrity deaths that like probably have like fucked with me like the most.
Okay.
One was Paul Walker.
Okay.
That one fucked with me the most.
Well, yeah, because
I'm a car enthusiast. So
and that's one of your.
I'm a real big fan of the Fast and Furious franchise and stuff, and that was one of the things that made me love cars even more. You know, so he was a big part of that too, Nip, because of his, you know, his music first, and then, you know, his mindset, his business mindset, and his, you know, uplifting, you know, vibe and stuff like that. 3 was like Kobe. Because I think that one hurt the most, because I've spent so much time, you know, Kobe's the reason why I play basketball, because, you know, at a young age, that's who, him and Vince Carter was the people that made me want to play ball. So, and I've never met any of these people, but I felt their deaths like I do them personally. So, for all that saying that you can't do that, you're wrong. because it's
or not. I mean, even for people out there that said that, like you said, they can't do that. They probably haven't lost a celebrity that's close to them. That they be like, damn, like, all right, they really going.
I'm pretty sure everyone has a celebrity, rapper, athlete, or whatever that if they were past, it would affect them like they knew them personally. So, a lot of people don't understand it until it happens to them. So until it happens to you, hopefully it never does. But the times we live in, you can't really understand if it hasn't happened to you. So. So, you want to wrap this up?
Absolutely, man.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate the positive feedback we've been getting so far.
Absolutely. Appreciate the love. And we've only been doing this for
this is our 4th episode. And we've been getting a lot of good
would have been
feedback.
6.
Would have been 6, 7, but we're going to get to that point. We're going to get better. Our production is going to get better. Our quality is going to get better.
Editing and all that stuff, man. We hopefully have more guests.
Yeah, a lot of this corona shit is kind of getting in the way.
My fucking way.
So I think once it'll be over, I guess we can have more people come up on the show to get other people's input besides just me and him.
Yeah.
So
and like you said, I say after every video, please like, comment, shares. All that. All that good shit. Check the videos out. Tell your friends, share them. And hey, you want to be a guest? Y'all know what to do. Hit us up. Come on the couch. Talk your shit. Absolutely. Look at. Let's go. He want to argue.
I'm ready.
He want to argue.
There's some topics on. There's some people I'm ready to argue with already. So.
We're not gonna name drop right now.
We're not gonna drop no names, but you're gonna tell by the aspect of the show.
The way to where he's sitting at, that's as we going to determine. Oh, that must be them.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna be sitting here looking like this.
And go.
Let's get it. All right, guys. Till next time. This has been Jay.
This is Big,
and this has been Lit Logic. We'll catch y'all next time.
Hey.
Peace.